Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another tape in my subliminal series. Life doesn't owe you anything. No one cares about your excuses. No one's coming to save you. You can sit around complaining about how hard life is, or you can get up and do something about it. Weak people whine. Winners work. You think life's unfair? Good, it is. You think you deserve success just because you tried? You don't. The world belongs to those who grind, those who push, those who refuse to stop. Every second you waste crying about how tough things are, someone else is out there hustling, building, growing stronger. While you complain, someone's taking action. While you sleep in, someone's training. While you scroll through social media feeling sorry for yourself, someone's making money. You have two choices: stay the same or level up. No one's going to hand you success. You have to take it. Work harder. Be relentless. Outwork everyone. Become undeniable. So stop waiting for someone to feel sorry for you. Get up, put in the effort, and prove you're worthy. Because at the end of the day, no one cares about your problems. They only care about results. No one cares about your excuses. Only results matter. This is the harsh truth that most people refuse to accept. They spend their lives making excuses for why they aren't successful, why they aren't rich, why they aren't in shape, why they aren't where they want to be. But the reality is, no one is listening. No one is coming to pat you on the back and tell you it's okay to be mediocre. The world doesn't reward excuses, it rewards results. The sooner you understand this, the sooner you can start making real progress in your life. People love to justify their failures with excuses. They say they had a rough childhood, they didn't get the right opportunities, they don't have the right connections. They blame the economy, the government, their parents, their bosses, or even society itself. But at the end of the day, none of that matters. The only thing that counts is what you produce. If you aren't getting the results you want, it's because you haven't done what's necessary to get them. It's that simple. Look around you. The world is filled with people who have every reason to fail, but refuse to let it define them. There are people who grew up in extreme poverty, who had no support, who faced every obstacle imaginable, yet they still made it. Why? Because they didn't waste time making excuses. They put in the work, they sacrificed, they pushed through pain, discomfort, and setbacks until they got what they wanted. They understood that no one was going to feel sorry for them, so they stopped feeling sorry for themselves. Excuses are nothing more than a way to justify inaction. When people don't want to do the work, they convince themselves that there's a valid reason why they can't. They tell themselves that they don't have enough time, that they don't have the right resources, that they don't have the talent, but there's always someone out there who had even less than you and still made it happen. The difference between winners and losers is that their circumstances, it's their mindset. Winners find solutions, losers find excuses. The world doesn't care about your struggles. It only cares about what you can bring to the table. No one hires you because they feel bad for you. No one pays you because you tried hard. You don't get rich by hoping the world suddenly becomes fair. You get rich by becoming valuable, by offering something that people need, by solving problems. Results are the only currency that matters. You either deliver or you don't. If you're broke, if you're out of shape, if you're stuck in the same place year after year, it's because you haven't done enough to change it. Think about sports. No one cares if an athlete had a bad day. No one cares if they were feeling tired. If they lose, they lose. The scoreboard doesn't care about their feelings. That's how life works. Results speak louder than words. It's easy to talk about what you want, to dream about success, to complain about how hard it is. But at the end of the day, no one cares about what you say. They care about what you do. People respect winners. People admire those who push through adversity and come out on top. No one remembers the person who almost made it but had too many excuses along the way. No one writes history about the guy who tried but didn't push hard enough. The only thing that matters is whether you get the job done. If you want respect, if you want success, if you want freedom, you have to earn it. The harsh reality is that most people aren't willing to do what it takes. They want the reward without the struggle. They want the body without the workouts. They want the wealth without the sacrifice. But it doesn't work that way. You don't get what you want in life. You get what you work for. And if you're not willing to work for it, you stop expecting the world to feel bad for you. Stop looking for sympathy. The people who are successful today didn't get there because they had it easy. They got there because they refused to quit. They took responsibility for their lives. They stopped blaming everything and everyone around them. They understood that the only thing that mattered was results. Life is unfair. Embrace it and outwork everyone. This is a truth that weak people refuse to accept. They expect everything to be handed to them, to be treated fairly, to have the same opportunities as everyone else. But the world doesn't work that way. Some people start at the bottom, some people are born rich, some people get lucky, and some people have to claw their way up with nothing but raw determination. Complaining about how unfair life is won't change anything. Sitting around feeling sorry for yourself won't get you ahead. The only solution is to work harder than everyone else and make yourself so powerful that life has no choice but to reward you. Most people waste their energy whining about the obstacles in their way instead of figuring out how to break through them. They focus on what they don't have. They tell themselves that the system is rigged, that they were born in the wrong place, that others have advantages they never will, and they use these excuses as a reason to stay weak, to stay average, to accept mediocrity. But the truth is, there is always a way to win. It just takes more effort than most people are willing to give. Look at the most successful people in the world. Do you think they all had an easy road? Do you think they never faced hardships, setbacks, or disadvantages? Of course they did, but they didn't let that stop them. They refused to be victims. They decided that no matter how unfair life was, they would still come out on top. They outworked everyone. They put in hours when others were sleeping. They kept pushing forward when others gave up. That's why they are where they are, and that's why the majority of people remain stuck in the same place year after year. You have two choices in life. You can either accept that things aren't fair and let it break you, or you can use it as fuel to become unstoppable. The moment you stop expecting life to be fair is the moment you gain real power. Because when you stop expecting fairness, you stop waiting for handouts, for lucky breaks, for someone to come save you. Instead, you take control. You realize that the only thing you can rely on is your own work ethic, your own discipline, your own willingness to outwork and outlast everyone around you. There will always be people who have an easier path. There will always be people who start with advantages you don't have, but that is irrelevant. Your only job is to push harder than them, to be more relentless, to be so driven that nothing can stop you. Because the truth is, even the people who start with everything will lose if they don't put in the work. Talent means nothing without effort. Luck runs out, but discipline and work ethic will carry you further than anything else. Most people don't fail because they are unlucky. They fail because they aren't willing to do what it takes. They look at their circumstances and decide that success isn't possible for them. They use their disadvantages as an excuse to quit before they even start. But the real winners see their disadvantages as a challenge. They use the unfairness of life as motivation to prove everyone wrong. They use every setback, every failure, every disadvantage as a reason to push harder. It's not supposed to be easy. If success were easy, everyone would have it. If wealth, power, and freedom were handed out fairly, there would be no competition. But that's not the world we live in. The world rewards those who refuse to give up. It rewards those who work when others rest, who push through pain when others quit, who stay focused when others get distracted. Nothing in life is guaranteed except one thing: your ability to outwork everyone around you. You might not have the best starting position, but that doesn't matter. Hard work will always put you ahead of those who rely on luck or talent alone. The moment you decide that you will outwork every single person in your field, in your gym, in your business, in your life, is the moment you take control. Complaining solves nothing. Action changes everything. People love to sit around and talk about their problems as if that will magically make them disappear. They waste hours, days, even years crying about how life isn't going their way, expecting sympathy, waiting for someone to come fix everything for them. But that's not how the world works. No amount of complaining will change your situation. The only thing that will is action. Yet instead of getting up and doing something, most people choose to stay exactly where they are, making excuses for why they can't move forward. The truth is, no one cares about your problems. Everyone has their own struggles. No one is sitting around thinking about how unfair your life is. No one is going to rescue you just because you feel bad about your circumstances. The world doesn't owe you anything. The sooner you accept that, the sooner you can start making real progress. Complaining only makes you weaker. It reinforces your victim mentality. It convinces you that you have no control, that your problems are bigger than you, that you're stuck. And once you start believing that, you've already lost. Every second spent complaining is a second wasted. Instead of using that energy to find a solution, you're using it to dwell on the problem. Instead of working towards a way out, you're digging yourself deeper into the hole. The most successful people in the world don't waste time whining about their problem. They don't sit around talking about how hard life is. They focus on what they can do to fix it. They take responsibility. They take action. They understand that life isn't about what happens to you. It's about how you respond to it. People complain because it's easier than taking action. It feels good in the moment. It lets them shift the blame onto something else. They complain about their job instead of improving their skills or finding a better one. They complain about their body instead of changing their diet or training harder. They complain about their relationships instead of looking at what they're doing wrong. It's always someone else's fault, always something outside of their control. That way, they never have to face the fact that they're the problem. The difference between winners and losers is simple. Winners see a problem and immediately start looking for a way to fix it. Losers see a problem and start looking for someone to blame. Winners focus on what they can control. Losers focus on what they can't. That's why winners keep winning and losers keep losing. Success is a mindset. It's about taking control of your life instead of letting life control you. Doesn't matter how bad your situation is. Someone out there has had it worse and still found a way to win. Someone has been through more pain, more setbacks, more failures, and still came out on top. The only difference between them and you is that they refused to let their problems define them. They understood that complaining wouldn't get them anywhere, so they didn't waste time on it. They put their energy into action, into solutions, into progress. Excuses won't change your life. Complaints won't pay your bills. Feeling sorry for yourself won't make you rich, won't get you in shape, won't make your dreams come true. The only thing that will is effort. The only thing that will is discipline. The only thing that will is making the decision to stop talking and start doing. Most people never reach their full potential because they are too busy making excuses instead of making progress. They let fear, laziness, and self-doubt hold them back. They stay in the same place year after year, wondering why nothing changes. The reality is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to wake up one day and suddenly hand you everything you want. If you want a better life, you have to build it. If you want to succeed, you have to work for it. If you want to win, you have to stop whining and start taking action. Every second wasted is an opportunity lost to someone more dedicated. While you sit around thinking about what you should do, someone else is already doing it. While you scroll through social media, someone else is grinding. While you sleep in, someone else is training. Every second you waste is a second you'll never get back, and worse, it's a second that someone else is using to get ahead of you. Success doesn't wait for anyone. The world doesn't stop moving just because you feel tired, unmotivated, or distracted. Time moves forward whether you take action or not. And if you're not using it to push yourself forward, you're falling behind. People love to say they don't have time. They claim they're too busy, that they have too much going on, that they'll start later. But the truth is, they have the same 24 hours as everyone else. The difference is in how they use it. Some people wake up early, work late, sacrifice comfort, and push themselves beyond their limits. Others waste time on meaningless distractions, complain about how hard life is, and wonder why nothing changes. The ones who succeed aren't necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. They're simply the ones who refuse to waste time. Discipline is what separates winners from losers. Most people don't lack potential, they lack discipline. They allow themselves to get distracted by things that don't matter. They prioritize comfort over progress. They convince themselves that they'll work harder tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. Meanwhile, someone else is putting in the effort, getting stronger, getting smarter, getting richer, while they stay in the same place. The moment you start valuing your time as your most valuable asset, everything changes. Time is the one thing you can never get back. Money can be made again, opportunities can come and go, but every second that passes is gone forever. The people who understand this treat their time with respect. They don't waste it on things that don't push them forward. They don't spend hours watching TV, scrolling through their phones, or complaining about how unfair life is. They are focused, disciplined, and relentless. They understand that every moment they dedicate to improvement brings them closer to success, while every moment wasted is a step backward. The competition never stops. While you're taking a break, someone else is working harder. It's not about being perfect every second of every day, but it is about making sure that you're not falling into the trap of comfort and laziness. The ones who rise to the top are the ones who outwork everyone else. They don't make excuses. They don't allow themselves to waste time on nonsense. They are obsessed with progress. Most people never realize how much time they waste until it's too late. They look back on their lives and wonder where the years went. They wonder why they never achieved their goals, why they never reached their full potential. They blame circumstances, luck, and other people, but deep down, they know the truth. They wasted time, they prioritized the wrong things, they let distractions steal their future. The winners, on the other hand, don't have these regrets. They look back and know they gave everything they had. They know they used every second to build something great. Opportunities don't wait for you to be ready. They come and go, and if you're not prepared, someone else will take them. The world doesn't slow down for you to catch up. If you want to win, you have to stay ahead. You have to constantly push yourself, constantly evolve, constantly move forward. The ones who stay hungry, who stay focused, who refuse to waste time are the ones who dominate. The reality is most people won't do what it takes. They'll keep wasting time making excuses and wondering why nothing changes. They'll keep losing opportunities to people who are more committed, more disciplined, and more willing to put in the effort. If you don't want to be one of them, you have to stop wasting time. You have to start treating every second like it matters, because it does. Success isn't given, it's taken by those who refuse to quit. The world doesn't hand out rewards to people who simply want something. It doesn't care about how badly you wish for success, how many times you've dreamed about it, or how much you think you deserve it. The only thing that matters is what you are willing to do to get it. Most people live their lives waiting for an opportunity to be given to them. But the truth is, no one is going to give you anything. If you want something, you have to take it. You have to be relentless, ruthless, and unshakable in your pursuit. People love the idea of success, but they hate the process. They want to be rich, but they don't want to put in the work. They want to be in great shape, but they don't want to suffer through the training. They want to be respected, but they aren't willing to earn it. That's why most people stay average. They talk, they dream, they wish, but they never truly commit. The ones who rise to the top are the ones who refuse to accept anything less than victory. They don't wait for permission. They don't ask if it's possible. They take action, and they keep taking action until they get what they want. The world is filled with quitters. People start things, get excited for a few weeks, then give up when it gets hard. And they start a business and quit the moment they don't see results. They go to the gym and quit when they don't see instant progress. They work on their goals for a little while, then stop because they lost motivation. And that's exactly why they stay stuck. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail isn't talent, intelligence, or luck. It's perseverance. The ones who win are the ones who refuse to give up, no matter how hard it gets. Pain is part of the process. Struggle is part of the journey. If you're not willing to endure discomfort, you don't deserve success. The strongest, most successful people in the world didn't get there because it was easy. They got there because they kept going when everyone else quit. They suffered through the failures, the setbacks, the losses, the doubt, and they kept moving forward. They didn't wait for the perfect moment. They didn't wait to feel ready. They just did whatever it took. That's the mentality you need if you want to win. There will always be obstacles. There will always be problems. Nothing will ever go exactly as planned. But winners don't use that as an excuse to stop. They find a way through. They figure it out. They adjust. They adapt. They push forward. That's why they succeed where others fail. Most people hit a roadblock and give up. They tell themselves it's not meant to be, that it's too hard, that maybe they should try something else. The winners, on the other hand, hit a roadblock and smash through it. They refuse to let anything stand in their way. Hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. You can have all the natural ability in the world, but if you're not willing to put in the effort, you will lose to someone who is. Success doesn't care about potential. It doesn't care about what you could do. It only cares about what you actually do. The ones who put in the work, who stay disciplined, who keep pushing, no matter how tough it gets, are the ones who end up on top. Most people never succeed because they don't truly commit. They treat success like an option, not an obligation. They tell themselves they'll try, but they never fully dedicate themselves. And that's why they fail. Success doesn't come to those who try. It comes to those who do whatever it takes. It comes to those who wake up every single day with one mission: to be better, to work harder, to push further. At the end of the day, you either want it badly enough to fight for it, or you don't. You either push through the pain, the exhaustion, the doubt, or you let it break you. The world belongs to those who refuse to quit. The people who win in life are the ones who decide that nothing will stop them. Discipline and consistency separate the weak from the strong. Everyone wants success, but very few are willing to do what it takes every single day. Most people rely on motivation, but motivation is temporary. It comes and goes. It's unreliable. The ones who win don't depend on how they feel. They don't wait until they're in the mood to work. They do it regardless. They wake up and handle business whether they're tired, whether they're sore, whether they feel like it or not. That's the difference between those who succeed and those who fail. Weak people are controlled by their emotions. They only do what's necessary when it's easy or convenient. If they don't feel like going to the gym, they skip it. If they don't feel like working on their business, they take the day off. If they don't feel like grinding, they procrastinate. And then they wonder why they never get anywhere. Winners don't make decisions based on feelings. They make decisions based on what needs to be done. They don't care if they're tired. They don't care if it's hard. They get up and do the work because they have standards. Most people fail because they lack consistency. They start strong but fall off when things get tough. They go hard for a few weeks, then give up. They chase results instead of focusing on the process. The ones who succeed understand that it's about showing up every single day, putting in the work, and improving little by little. It's not about making huge leaps overnight. It's about being relentless, about never missing, about stacking small wins until they turn into massive victories. Discipline is the foundation of success. It's the ability to stay focused, to do what's necessary even when it's uncomfortable. It's waking up early when you want to sleep in. It's grinding when everyone else is relaxing. It's choosing sacrifice over instant gratification. It's about making decisions today that will pay off in the future. Most people can't do this because they want results now. They want shortcuts. They want fast money, quick success, easy gains. But that's not how the real world works. Everything in life rewards those who are consistent. You don't get in shape by working out once. You don't build a successful business by working on it when you feel like it. You don't become elite at anything without repetition. It takes years of effort, of showing up every single day, of grinding when no one is watching. The ones who have discipline don't need motivation. They don't need someone to push them. They have a mission and they execute. They understand that success isn't built in a day. It's built in the thousands of days that most people waste. The difference between the strong and the weak is habits. Strong people have habits that make them better. They have routines that keep them sharp. They keep them ahead. They prioritize growth, learning, training, and execution. Weak people have habits that hold them back. They waste time, they make excuses, they avoid discomfort. They let distractions steal their potential. And then they wonder why their life never changes. Discipline isn't something you're born with, it's something you develop. It's a choice. You either decide to control your actions or you let your actions control you. You either build habits that push you forward or you build habits that keep you stuck. Every single day, you're either getting closer to your goals or further away from them. Every decision matters. The strong know this, which is why they never let up. They don't take days off from their goals. They don't let excuses dictate their future. They operate with precision, with purpose, with drive. In conclusion, the world doesn't care about your potential. It doesn't care how talented you are, how smart you are, or how much you think you deserve success. It only cares about what you do consistently. It only rewards those who put in the work day after day without fail. If you're not where you want to be, it's because you're not disciplined enough to do what's required every single time without compromise. Winners understand that results come from relentless consistency, from an unbreakable work ethic, from never missing a day,